Hi there. Today, another of life principles. Principles to follow, to live by, or live by principles. Simple rules for life. To be in sync with yourself. What is this life principle? It's very simple. It's not true. It's not true. Now you might ask, how can that be life principle? What does it say? What is it that it's not true? It is not true that you are the body, as simple as that. And this misconception or ignorance, if you want, is so important because everything else comes out of it. Everything else comes out of this basic ignorance or misconception that you are the body. It's not true. You are not the body. If you follow this life principle or this rule for life on an everyday basis, and if you try to live it, to sink into it, it will change your life immensely. It will absolutely change the way you look at everything, you experience everything. You are not the body. It's not true that you are the body. Now, how can you come to that conclusion? You yourself, if you were to think about it, how would you come to that conclusion? You're experiencing a body, correct? Correct. You're experiencing the world, correct. When you're dreaming, what are you experiencing? You're experiencing a reality, a different reality, but a reality. You're experiencing a body, a different body, a dream body, which is not the same as the body you're experiencing in your waking state. But it's still an experience and it's still a body. You are experiencing a body. There is no way around it. But is that body real? Does that body really exist? No, but the experience is real. It is not this, and it is not the same body as the body in your waking state. So the same way, in the wakeful state, you experience this body. There's some sort of a physical body that is your body in a waking state, which is a real experience. But does this body exist? No, it doesn't. The same as with the dream body. The experience is real, but the body itself is not real. And that is not all. If you have a vivid imagination, or if you just put a little bit of attention to your imagination, you go inward, you imagine yourself, you imagine your body, you imagine your circumstances, you imagine something, you come up with a story and then you imagine it and then you go through it again and again and again. You put a lot of attention to it. You will create another body, another imaginary body, which will be absolutely real, and everything, the circumstances and everything will be real. You will absolutely experience it as complete reality. But again, it will be the experience of this body, the experience of the circumstances, the experience of the world in which this body is moving around will be real. But the body itself and the circumstances do not really exist, do they? It's all the same, all these three different bodies. The body you experience in a waking state, the body you experience in a dream state, the body you experience in an imaginary state, all these bodies you really do experience. All these experiences are real. But these bodies themselves are not real. That's the difference. As the science have already concluded today, what is out there is not what we experience. What is out there is mainly space. A very, very, very little tiny 0.tiny% of a matter. And all the rest is space. So stop believing that you are the body. It is not true, as simple as that. Because once you believe that you are the body, then everything else, all other beliefs come out of it. You put so much attention onto this body, onto how it looks, into what it does, into how long it's going to live, into all sorts of things that this body mind is concocting, like all sorts of emotions, feelings, thoughts, and then all these actions that this body is performing, and so on and so on. Yes, you are experiencing all that. The same as you experiencing all that in your dream body. And the same as you experiencing all that in the imaginary body. But it is not real. It is just the experiences that are real. So get off it. Get off it and understand this basic life principle or rule for life that you need to really become ingrained into you. You are not the body. I'm not the body. And the more you sort of go into yourself and breathe into it and live with this new concept that you are not the body, the more your experiences will widen, open up, and the more you will understand that you are not something that starts and ends, that you're not something that is transitory, that you're not something that is born and dies, that you are something that is absolutely limitless, that is absolute, that you are that consciousness on which all these projections are being put on, and all the consciousness, that sort of a background or the space, if you want, in which all these projections arise and go back into it. So it's not true that you are the body. This is absolutely basic. If you do not grasp this basic concept, then everything else is really in vain. All these other, attempts to sort of widen your horizon, to improve your life in some sort of a meaningful way, to sort of grasp these other realities that are out there, to understand what huge potential you are. We all are. What we all are, really. We need to grasp this basic life principle. It's not true that you're the body. Stop believing it. Stop living it. It is not easy. I understand that, because you've been living with this concept for many cycles from birth to death. But it is possible. And it doesn't take that long, but it does take a change of direction, going inwards instead of focusing outwards all the time, and then living and breathing in and understanding more and more the concept that you are not the body, that the experience is there, but the reality is not, the existence is not there. And what it is, what you really are, is something so much better, that it's beyond the words, as it is beyond the words and beyond the mind. So it's not true that you are the body. Let that sink in. And I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.